What's going on, guys? I'm your boy Steve. I'm here with my boy
Sean,
and we are the Real Ghost Guys. Alright, guys, we are back and we got a new one and hopefully a good one. The WF Files. The Y Files. We have done a video from them before. It was about the Warrens.
that was actually that was a perspective-changing video for me, because I didn't know a lot of the stuff that he actually researched and talked about in that video. So it was a cool video.
And yeah, we enjoyed it so much. We're gonna kind of do a deep dive into his channel and just kind of check out some other stuff that he's got. So we're going through some of his videos, and this one kind of caught my eye. It's who are the Dark Watchers? Don't stare too long. Now, I don't know if this is like government stuff or maybe it's like ghosts from like a parallel universe. Nobody knows.
It's weird shit.
I haven't seen those videos, so
we're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out. So if you guys enjoy these kind of videos that we do, these reaction videos, if you're enjoying the WF Files here, let us know in the comments section. Let us know what you guys thought about this video. If there's any other videos you would like us to see from the WF Files, let us know in the comments. And make sure you guys hit that like, that sub, and that notification bell. And yeah, let's get on into this. I wanna find out who these dark people are.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
There's our buddy, good old Hecklefish.
Hecklefish.
The Santa Lucia mountain range runs from Monterey and down the coast of California. For hundreds of years, stories have been told about entities that keep watch over the mountains. Sometimes seen out of the corner of the eye, and always from a distance. Stare too long and they vanish. If you're ever hiking in the wilderness of Big Sur and feel like you're being watched, it's because you are.
What happens if you don't stare? Do they not vanish?
Nobody knows how long
Well,
the
then you
Dark
don't see them,
Watchers
so
have
you
been
don't
guarding
know.
Santa Lucia's, but stories go back to the Spanish settlers in the early 18th century. The Santa Lucia Mountains were the final obstacle before reaching the Pacific Ocean. And this was a dangerous climb and had to be done carefully. And as they slowly made their way through the mountains, the settlers reported seeing dark figures watching them, and they called them Los Vigilantes Oscuros. Oh, you're not gonna jump in with a translation?
It's literally the title of the episode.
I know, but usually...
It's time to take off the training wheel, sport. My back hurts from carrying you.
Years later, American settlers reported seeing the same thing. So whether Native American tribe, Spanish settler, or casual hiker, everyone who travels the area gets an anxious feeling that they're being silently observed. It happens in the late afternoon, right before dusk. In the hills, usually when it's hazy, and you feel eyes on you from somewhere. You turn around and see a dark figure about 10 feet tall. It has long, thin legs and arms. You can't see its face, except for maybe dimly glowing eyes. Some have described them as wearing wide-brimmed hats and cloaks. And just as your eyes adjust and your brain starts to make sense of what you're seeing, the figure vanishes. According to people who have seen the Dark Watchers, they are unsettling, but don't seem to be dangerous. They spend most of their time in the shadows of the forest, but they will come out if people are close. Legend says they're entities that follow travelers through the mountains. They have excellent hearing and eyesight. And if they detect any type of technology like a phone or GPS, they won't appear. One famous person who saw the Dark Watchers was the author John Steinbeck. In his story Flight, a character sees a dark figure staring at him from on top of the hill.
Abbé looked suspiciously back every minute or so, and his eyes sought the tops of the ridges ahead. Once, on a white barren spur, you saw a black figure for a moment, but he looked quickly away, for it was one of the Dark Watchers. No one knew who the Watchers were, nor where they lived, but it was better to ignore them and never to show interest in them. They did not bother one who stayed on the trail and minded his own business.
The Dark Watchers were a bit of a family obsession for the Steinbecks. John Steinbeck's son Thomas wrote a book about them. His mother Olive actually interacted with them. She often told stories about her time as a young teacher. And to get to work, she would have to travel the dark woods of the mountains. She said she saw Dark Watchers several times, and she would leave gifts of flowers and food. and would receive gifts from the Watchers on her way home.
What gift would she get? They wouldn't kill her in her sleep.
No, the Dark Watchers would bring her flowers too.
Creepiest romance ever.
There have been sightings of Dark Watchers recently, and what's spooky is the descriptions are all very similar. I'll link you to a page where you can read a bunch of them, but here are a few of my favorites.
One day I was hiking the mountains where I lived near Blythe, California. As I went further on the trail, I felt like I was being watched. The hair on my arms stood up. I turned around, worried it was a mountain lion. At the top of the mountain, I saw a hooded human figure. I couldn't see its face. The hood and cloak looked tattered and ripped. It made no sound. I turned around and went back the way I came. I never went back to that area of the mountain range again. Dan, Phoenix, Arizona.
One day a friend and I were coming back from Los Angeles. We passed the San Luis Obispo Reservoir and saw something at the end of the mountain. It was a really big human figure, but it wasn't. It had a black cape like the Grim Reaper and holding a staff. It was in the daytime, so I knew it wasn't a person. These Dark Watchers are real. Elizabeth, San Mateo, California.
So what are the Dark Watchers? Well, nobody knows for sure, but there are a couple of theories. The first one is that it's a simple case of pareidolia. Pareidolia is the human tendency to perceive a specific image in a random visual pattern. Some cases of pareidolia can be pretty compelling. I mean, look at this.
Well, now that will haunt me in my dreams.
Or the bacon murder clown.
Yeah, you got any funny ones? These are awful.
A pigeon poops a self-portrait.
That's more like it.
The woman who looks like a Muppet. Or these peppers, which are apparently dying to get out. Once your brain makes the connection between that random image and a real-life object, you can't not see it. The Dark Watchers could be long shadows caused by trees that, because of pareidolia, people perceive as tall figures. Maybe this is the reason they're only seen at dawn or dusk. This is when shadows are the longest. What people perceive as a Grim Reaper's staff is just a branch, and the hats are just the tops of trees. But that doesn't explain the pictures of the Dark Watchers.
Well, we got pictures.
There's a phenomenon called the Brocken Spectre. It's named after the Brocken Peak in the Harz Mountains of Germany. And for hundreds of years, locals have reported seeing shadowy figures on the Brocken Peak. But what this actually is the shadow of a hiker or a mountain climber. What happens is, when the sun is directly behind the subject, a shadow is cast on the mountain mist below. And the specters are often surrounded by a rainbow halo. This rainbow effect is called a glory, and is caused by sunlight refracting off water droplets in the mist. And you can sometimes see this effect when you fly. If the conditions are right, you'll see the shadow of the plane surrounded by a glory. On the mountain, when the sun is low in the sky like dawn or dusk, the shadow can look huge. So could this be the Dark Watchers that people are seeing in the mountains, their own shadows?
Nope.
I don't know. The glories are pretty spectacular. You'd think that would have worked its way into the story. And a Brocken Spectre will stay there until the conditions change. But everyone who's claimed to see a Dark Watcher says they disappear very quickly. And skeptics have added other theories like hypoxia. Hikings at elevation where there's less oxygen could be causing hallucinations. They also try to explain that feeling of being watched is the result of being exposed to infrasound. When wind rushes down the side of a mountain, it can sometimes create sound under 19 hertz, just below human hearing. When exposed to infrasound, especially at high amplitudes, many report feeling anxious, even fearful. Others have reported chills running down their spine. But these theories don't explain how people see Dark Watchers from a moving car. Well, I'm not saying they're real, but I will admit the scientific explanations are a little thin. I don't think we can put this one in the debunked column.
Will be still my heart.
And look, people who are new to the channel sometimes think that I'm a skeptic, set out to debunk their favorite urban legend, but that's absolutely not what I'm here to do. I love the legends as much as anyone, but most of all, I want to know the truth. Because if we can debunk 99% of these stories, doesn't that make the other 1% so much more fun?
Facts.
Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. My name is AJ, that's Hecklefish. This has been the Y-Files. If you had fun or learned anything, do me a favor and like, subscribe, comment, and share. That stuff really helps the channel. And thanks to our patrons for making this channel possible. If you'd like to support the Y-Files, consider becoming a member on Patreon or picking up some Y-Files merchandise. There are links in the description.
We got Hecklefish t-shirts, Hecklefish mugs, Hecklefish BB
Yeah.
clothes, Hecklefish mouse pads.
Okay, they get it.
Hecklefish hoodies.
And that's gonna do it. Until next time, be safe, be kind, and know that you are appreciated.
Well, there you have it, guys. The Dark Watchers. Well, what'd you think?
I don't know. I never ever heard of a Dark Watcher before this video, so.
I actually heard a few stories on that place. But very vague stories throughout the years.
It seems like it's all in like a California area or a California-esque area, so I'm more leaning towards what he said was the reasons behind it,
Yeah.
like the sun and the fact that people are already basically paranoid about the stories out there, so they think that they see them. But yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely agree with you. Like I don't think they're real. Obviously, I'm more of a skeptic, but I have heard the story before. There's a few forces that actually have like stories that like that come out of, but it's very like what he said, right? Like the forest, the sun, the shadows. You know, it's high up altitude, so you get hypoxia going, and yeah, so. I'll chalk it off to like probably more folklore than anything.
Yeah.
But who knows? Like usually with these folklore stuff, like there's always like some kind of truth behind it. Maybe at some point in the 1800s there was like a family like was a bit taller. You know, they were all like 6 something. They lived in the mountains, and you know people started talking about them, and they were kind of secluded, and
that's how it happens.
And then, you know, after that, it just, like, after they passed away, the story just kept going, right? And now we got what we got today, so. But yeah, Y-Files, again, I love this channel.
Yeah.
Like, Hecklefish does an amazing, like,
just
like the comedy that he brings to it.
Yeah.
Is awesome. The storytelling is really well done. Obviously, he's got a voice for storytelling.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like everything about the delivery is done properly, even from his voice to the way it's set up with the fish, and like the way he lays out the story, like it's a true story, like you believe what he's telling you, and then brings in the facts to like prove or disprove it. It's definitely delivered well done.
But yeah, I'll kind of hard to critique these ones because, like, usually I'm not much of a fan of storytelling, but like, I liked like the real, like, stories, right? Like, I'm not a huge fan of like somebody telling a story of like something that's made up, right? So I prefer like real stories, like stuff, like places that you could actually go and visit and like see for yourself, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll give this a solid 8. With an 8. As I said, it was a shorter video. It was one of his shortest videos that he's done, and you know, everybody wants more Hecklefish. But yeah, I'll give it a solid 8. It was like, you know, the delivery was nice, and you know, the thing I like about him is he's not. He provides the evidence, and then he lets you make up your own mind, whether you believe it or not, right? And that's kind of what we like to do on our channel, right? We'll provide evidence when we see stuff, like how could it be faked, or how, you know, this and that. And then if you don't want to believe in any of that stuff that we say, then you believe that it's real. So, and I'm not here to change anybody's mind. So I like it. I give it a solid 8.
I want to say an 8, but I think I'm gonna go with a 7, just because I know that he's got way better videos with like better content.
Oh, for sure.
And I'm gonna hold out the good scores for those. So, yeah, I'm gonna give this one a 7.
All right. Well, there you have it, guys. Sean has a 7. I have an 8. What do you guys score this video? If you guys are enjoying the WF Files, let us know in the comment section. Also, if you're enjoying our channel and our reactions, make sure you hit that like, that follow, and that notification bell. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Until then, I'm your boy Steve. I'm here with my boy
Sean,
and we are the Real Ghost Guys.